Hey, fourth graders, this is Miss Rader coming to you from my dining room. I'm going to teach you today about point of view, and I am so excited to start this lesson that we are just going to start right now. So I hope all of you have been doing good, doing your work, getting ready to get back into the swing of everything since you've been off for spring break. It's going to be fun, a fun lesson today. A point of view, RL 4.6, and this is lesson number 1. Lesson number 1, point of view. And you're going to see this little picture of our book with our eyeball. And whenever you read something, you need to always make sure that you are understanding the view from that author, from the book you're reading or a paragraph that you may be reading, whoever's opinion of what they wrote. So you need the view stands for the eyeball, and then your book, okay? So for today, I can explain and label 2 types of POV. Now our POV, guess what it stands for? Point of view. Okay, explain and label 2 types of point of view in order to help me determine which point of view is used so I can understand what I'm reading. Okay, so whatever you read, you must understand what you're reading. So what is the sense of reading if you are not understanding it? So understanding point of view is a big part of understanding what you're reading. So what is point of view or POV? Remember, POV stands for what? That's right, point of view. So it refers to who is telling or narrating a story. We always hear of the word narrator. Well, look where it comes from, narrating. So who's telling the story? There are 2 types of point of view, first person and third person. And you might say, Miss Rader, you talk about first person and third person. Well, what about second person? Well, we're not going to talk about second person because in 4th grade, there are only 2 types of point of view that you need to know about, and that's first and third. So what is first person? When the story is narrated or it's told by a person in the story. So whenever that person tells the story, that's first person. Third person is when the story is narrated or told by someone else in the story. Okay, so do you know the difference? 2 types of point of view, first and third. First person is when the story is narrated by the person in the story, and third person when the story is narrated by someone else in the story. So when we find point of view, we have to look at pronouns. And you might say, well, Ms. Rader, what is a pronoun? I've heard it before, but I can't remember. Well, pronouns take the place of nouns. And if you remember when you were at the primary school, they told you nouns were a person, a place, or a thing. Well, when we're talking about point of view, we're just talking about a person. So that's a pronoun. And we're going to watch this little video about pronouns. And you know Miss Rader loves vocabulary. And if you feel like you need to get up out of your seat and dance along a little bit, feel free. Okay. So you see that in using pronouns, it's better to use pronouns so you don't have to repeat yourself all the time. And we are going to look at this again. So, first person, what will you see? In first person, you will see words such as I, my, our, me, us, and we. That is first person. In third person, you're going to see he, she, they, their, her, him, and them. So, first person is talking about I. Third person is talking about somebody else. It's kind of like on the playground whenever there's a disagreement and they come running to somebody always comes running to the teacher to tell them what happened, and they weren't even in the situation. That's always coming from a third person, because you always hear words like he said this and she did that. Third person. Now if the person who is having the disagreement comes over and says there's a problem, I was swinging and they hit me. Did you hear the words that I used? I, me, they. Then that's coming from first person. We talk in first and third person all the time and we don't really realize it, but now you just might. So, Juan and his family were headed to the lake to camp for the weekend. They were going to fish, ride bikes, and roast marshmallows by the fire. Okay, is that first or third person? Well, what we need to do first is look for your pronouns. And I see Juan is the person. I see they, his. Oh, so those are third person pronouns. So guess what? It's third person. Let's try another one. Alex played in the sprinkler at his house on Saturday. After 3 hours in the water, he was exhausted and he took a nap. Is that first or third person? We're going to look for our pronouns. Our noun is Alex, and who we're referring to? His, he. And if you remember, third person. That's right. Good job. And then another one we might have. My mom asked if I would go and pick up some bread, eggs, and sugar. I hopped in my car and headed to Food Lion. I enjoy running errands for my mom. Now, is that first or third person? Let's look at our pronouns. My, I, my. What do you think that is? First person. You said first person. You got it right. In our last example, Miss Rader asked Skylar to help pass out the reading materials. She was excited to help and ran to get the materials. She is a great helper. Is that first or third person? Talking about Skylar is our noun, and what does that refer to? What pronouns? She and she. Is she first person or third person? Look for your pronouns. She, that's third person. Good job. Now we're going to review, and you're going to go to Kahoot. And Kahoot has been set up for you. I have a web address right here, so if you need to, you can pause the video. That's a lot to write down. But if you just go to Kahoot it and type in your game pin 0264707, you'll be able to go on the Kahoot that Ms. Rader made for you, and it'll be waiting for point of view review. So go to kahoot.it, type in your game pin 0264707. Remember, this is a video. You can pause it to get all your information. And I want you to take that Kahoot, and when you see me the next time for video 2, we will talk about more of point of view. See ya.